start sort of at least somewhat figuring out how you might want to present this, and your competition and your current design also informs technical constraints. Are they building it on certain platform? Are they doing Ajax, or are they doing it on WordPress as opposed to Joomla? Those sort of things also start.
So that was my next question I was coming on to.
And I have that question, so I'll come to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we use journeys. So what we do is we actually wireframe user journeys. So we don't wireframe the entire product. User journeys is submitting an idea on Delco Green. So how do you submit it? So we'll just focus on widgets, not the pages. So we'll wireframe, okay, there is some sort of widget as soon as you land which says submit an idea with some description why you want to submit an idea. So you click on it, it'll take you somewhere, authentication widget. Then it'll take you a form, which may be one form for an expert, maybe multiple forms for a novice. So we start making those widgets. So wireframe those widgets. People use paper sketches, hand sketches, we do whiteboarding, a lot of ways again. But the idea is that very rough conceptual sort of hand sketch looking things we make. Then
wireframes actually.
Wireframes fidelity function, very low quality wireframes. It's like some 8th grader has drawn these. Yeah. That kind of fidelity, because you don't want to get married to the design. Yeah. You spend a lot of time making those wireframes. What I've seen, designers get, you're not open to
invested.
Yeah, you get very invested and you don't want to try 3 or 4 different things. So we take those widgets and then again we have some access to users. We actually make cutouts or PowerPoint, very simple. Say, okay, you want to submit, kya hoga? Okay, I'm going to press this. Or how are you going to fill this form? Say, I'm going to do this. And we try to figure out if this works, if it's actually falling with the pattern. Then we take those, assemble those, start making pages out of these. Then we take the quality, fidelity of wireframe to very refined, up a notch, and then take those wireframes and then we go into visual design.
So and they do really detailed wireframe.
Very detailed wireframe.
Yeah,
so wireframe is not just about what feature set, but how the interaction flow is going to happen, what the layout of the page might be, and what the content. A lot of people, we put the content later on. Patient is without content. We Greek the text. And then we make very detailed interaction tables. Because when you give the wireframes to people, it's like, so what will happen if you do this? What will happen if you do this? So we actually build tables next to it. What will happen if you do X? What will happen if you click on link or a button or something? And goes up.
And then you do the mood board.
So then becomes visual design. So wireframes will solve the question.
So on wireframes, what's the core focus? The user flow, as in simplicity of the user flow, complexity, flexibility of the user flow, or is it content and information?
So all of the above. Wireframes basically are documenting the system now. Documenting the screens. So these are how many screens will be. This is how people are going to go from one screen to the other. So at the end, these
is the focus
wireframe evolve toward that, and the end delivery of wireframes is that you have documented all the screens without the graphic design.
So my basic question was that is the focus more on how the user is going and what all options he has, or more on how we can showcase him more information in a better way?
Both.
Or is it
Usually we start with the user focus, because user focus will only cover about 60%, 70% functionality, because that's what you're targeting. But there's all this other set which sales and marketing wants to both put in. So then we have to figure out how to do it. There are a lot of actually activities which happen to figure out that. We have card sort analysis. So there are a lot of activities which card sort is which tells us what terminology, vocabulary should be used, what sort of navigation, how do you group information, how do you structure information together.
Going back to the question, the concept of user-centric design. So how do you actually practically involve the stakeholders, involve users while designing wireframes for them? Or is it after you've prototype, you send them out?
You involve users early and often.
How do you?
So essentially, so we'll have in the wireframes take multiple iterations. And what we do usually have 2 usability testing. So in which we actually take the wireframes, prototype them somehow, or even take the hand sketches and put in terms in front of the users. So we recruit users based on a personas. So usually 6 to 8 users are enough for us to give us an idea whether the design is going
How
in the
much
right
into the
direction.
process do you actually involve a physical person to
So
see?
we
How
get
long?
users and we say, we're trying to design this software who will make it easy for you to submit your green ideas. Now we want you to, so you have this great idea which you want to put out of the world. Using these set of screens, how will you do it? And we just sit back and let the user
This
work.
is before you go into
During.
wireframing and everything. This is
After you've gone to wireframe.
So
this
first,
is the wireframe.
first version of the wire.
version of the
first version.
First version, second version, which we know that it has enough.
So first you involve the user in defining the personas itself. That's when you involve the user
That
first.
is called user research.
That's user research. Then you do usability testing when you test the wireframes.
So you're testing your design whether it's going the right direction or not.
Hypothetically, if you could involve them, a bit before, you actually build a wireframe, won't that sort of optimize the
They don't
experience?
understand it.
So they're
They'll not
They
understand
can't, they
it.
can't visualize it.
They can't
users
visualize
are not
it.
designers.
Maybe instead of discussion or a debate or whatever.
It's always
They
better
don't
to
understand
show
the
the user than ask him or her how you do it.
So you have the wireframe.
whatever you have.
Is that what is called alpha users?
No, much after. Much after. The alpha will come much after.
I'm not aware of those
Alpha
terms.
term is when you launch a product and you say the first 10 users after the full product is
The
done.
alpha, beta and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people who
No, most of it build when you're actually launching.
people who involved in usability are match the personas, or they're just a random set of.
No. So, not unlike focus groups marketing does, very similar. So we build a screener, what we call based on our personas. We want 12 users. Out of these, 6 users should be persona A, which is college going kid, 3 female, 3 males, 20, 25 years old, make sure he doesn't smoke, make sure he drives his own vehicle, make sure he owns a laptop, an Apple, a PC. Based on what you're going to get at, you can go. And then these marketing recruiters go and they call people and get this.
Okay. So now you have wireframes. You're done with that. What happens next? Then you do the mood boards.
Mood boards can happen before.
Okay.
So
What is a mood board? Explain that, because people here. So here, just to give you a sense of who has a sense of design. In our team, Karthik and Divya are working on the build pieces, but both of them are very early in the journey. Yeah. Mayank has built a product already and got 20,000 users on it. Has it worked? Quippy, it's a microblogging platform, so and he's worked with SlideShare. So Mayank has a little bit of an understanding. As a
you
coder,
work in SlideShare.
I've worked for slides for about a year.
Rashmi Sinha.
so as a coder, so Mayank has a bit of understanding on that. Gaurav is a techie who wants to build applications, but is building websites and logos right now.
Actually, both.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gaurav has a bit of a sense of so people here. You assume that people here don't understand design,
Okay.
and I
No,
read a lot
everybody
about
design
design.
that. I don't think that's right. Maybe you don't understand the way we design things, but everybody is a designer. Right? So everybody has a sort of an
So what are mood boards?
So let's step back a little bit before we actually get into mood boards. So we'll understand.